What's up, guys? How you doing? Total Archery Challenge, Park City, Utah. We're going to be there and we are pumped. This will be a first time doing an event like this, and I'm sure we'll be continuing to do so every year from this point on. So I want to go over some of the key pieces of equipment I'll be bringing there. My pack, my bino harness, binos, rangefinder, and my bow. So to start with the pack, I'm using the Kafaro Shape Charge. This roughly has 2,000 cubic inches of volume of storage, and also we added the Sherman pouch as well. This adds another 500 cubic inches roughly. So plenty of room for any gear we may need, a jacket, snacks, hydration, stuff like that. The benefit of the Sherman for this particular pack, you can put the bow on here if you strap it in. It's got an additional handle here in the bottom. You actually can use this, put your cam in that, tie it in. But to keep things simple, this pouch here, you're just gonna drop your bottom limb or top limb in here, depending on how you want to carry it. And just go ahead and tighten this right back up. And your bow is secure on the back of the pack. So, you know, we're going to hike in the mountains quite a bit, I'm sure, between targets, and also we'll be walking from our hotel most likely as well. So that's a huge advantage of having the Sherman on the back of this pack and be able to tote things around. Plenty of room inside. Jacket, food. If you're bringing some kind of supplements and stuff like that, plenty of room. We're going to be carrying some t-shirts with us. So if you're going to be shooting in our squad, we should have a shirt for you. Hopefully we'll have your size, and we'll get you taken care of, get you some of that rad archery action going. Be carrying some extra arrows here in a tube I made. I'll probably bring probably a dozen with me a day. Hopefully I won't lose all of them. That's not the plan anyway. So carry some extra arrows with us, extra supplies, and that's the pack of choice for this trip. The bino harness, we're using the marsupial gear. American made as well as a Kafaro. This is their enclosed harness. Magnets to keep the flaps open and closed. Okay, super secure, quiet, well made. I don't think you could beat their stuff. It's the best bino harness that I've ever seen and ever messed with. Usable pockets on the outside. You got one on each side. You got one on the back. Okay, you put a knife, a pistol, a cell phone in there. The one up front, actually, it expands, so it's useful. My last bino harness had a pouch up front. It was super tight. You could barely get your fingers in there. Maybe get a license possibly in there. But this is useful. I can get another release in here. I can put an Allen wrench kit in there if I need to. Super useful pouch. Their external or their rangefinder pouch and accessory pouch as well. This is good for a cell phone. It's got a pocket on the outside of that as well. This side I actually keep my release on inside the pouch here. You know, a lot of people have asked me, hey, do you hunt with a handheld release? It doesn't have a wrist strap on it. What do you do with it? When I'm walking around, it goes in the side of the bino harness. Easy access there. And if I'm actually in the stand, I'll go ahead and slip this between my chest and the bino harness, and it'll stay right here. Obviously I'm just standing in the stand. Now what's cool about this harness, the magnet on the back that keeps the flap closed, my release has the trigger and internals. There's enough in there to grab a hold of that, or the magnet grabs a hold of it and actually keeps it there. Kind of a cool feature, I think. I can't wait to test this out this season. This is the first year I'll be using this harness. But just doing this video, I figured that out. I'm like, man, this is perfect. It's got a magnet there to hold it there too. But it shouldn't go anywhere if you use a bino harness and you have a handheld release like that, and it's got a bigger size peg or barrel on it. It'll sit right there between your chest and your bino harness. Shouldn't go anywhere at all. Okay, you just got to be careful taking your binos in and out. They don't knock it off. But that's just an option for you. So the bino harness there. Binos I'll be using the Leupold Pro BX4s. It's a 10x42, and I'll be using the Leupold Full Draw RX4 rangefinder this year. Heard great things about it last year. A lot of guys using it actually at TAC, and for those steep angles, it was super accurate and on the money. So I can't wait to test it out. So we're gonna find out. So I have a lot of trust in my equipment. You know, that's the key going into something like this. Obviously, you know, I need to be up to par. I've been training quite a bit, you know, shooting and physically. So I'm looking forward to testing everything out, especially myself too. So that's a bino harness. As far as the bow goes, between my 3 bows, my TRX 34, my V331, and the Traverse, I went with the Traverse. So I messed with all of them quite a bit and decided that this is the best of all worlds. It's a perfect crossover bow without having to go into the target line, which I think the TRX 34 is actually a really good bow to be crossover. You can hunt with it and do target, but I lean towards the Traverse. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit more speed out of it, and I didn't want to have to shoot a bunch of weight in order to get out to the longer shots that we're going to have there at TAC. I'm shooting 63 pounds now, shooting a 330 grain Victory VAP arrow. So basically it's just a target arrow. And I'm cruising right around 300 feet per second. I got a 28.5-inch draw. As far as the equipment on the bow, sight is a Fast Eddy XL from Spot Hogg. This is their single pin, but it has a 2-pin aperture in it. Okay, so it gives you 2 places to aim with, or 2 apertures to aim with. Super small scope, but still having 2 references. I probably gained about 10 yards without actually having to move my scope at all on the bow. You know, you get your scope too close to the arrow, your fletchings are going to hit the bottom of the scope. So a lot of single pin scopes out there are good, but that extra meat in there on the pin is not being used at all. They have an extra spot in there. If you guys haven't seen it, they got an extra piece of fiber optic in there, gives you a second reference point, and they also have a second reference point on the dial itself. So like for instance right now, I can go out to 140 with this setup, okay, and plenty of clearance. So if I put my second pin at 140, my top pin is at 129. So I gain that extra bit just by having that second pin in there and not having to actually physically move my scope. So I probably won't be shooting past 120 out there, but just nice to know I have the extra clearance if I need it. Okay, so Spot Hogg Fast Eddy XL as far as the aiming device goes. Bars, stabilization. This is Shrewd Rev X front and rear. I got a 10-inch in the rear, 18-inch up front, running 4 ounces and 8 ounces. Also running their disconnect up front straight. I'm not using the -8 degree. I'm using the straight, and also their Atlas V-bar mount in the back. Okay, these are all quick disconnect. So when I put the bow on the back of the pack, I'm going to have to take my front stabilizer off, or I'm going to be taking people out when I walk by them. Okay. Rest, I'm using the Hamskea. This is the Hamskea Hybrid Pro. This is a limb-driven design. Been super happy with their products. I'm actually using them all 3 of my bows right now. And I'm also using the American Best bowstrings on here for my threads. So this is going to be the setup for TAC. I've been pleased with it. I've been saying this over and over again. I hope Mathews comes out with a bow like this in their hunting line again. We want a bigger axle-to-axle bow in their hunting line. We'll go down that road another time. It's another video. So that's what I'm going to use as far as the bow goes. And my release, I'm going to run the Nock-On Nock to it. Okay, this is actually the Mini, and I'll be bringing 2 of them with me as backup, one just in case. And I think I'll have my Silverback and my hinge with me just in case, my Too Smooth. But I'll be primarily running this, and I've been running this for a little bit, for probably 2 or 3 months now. But if you look back at a bunch of my videos, I've been shooting this and I'm pulling through shots fine. Target panic hasn't been an issue, so I'm super happy with that. Arrows are going to be the Victory VAP 400 spine, roughly 330 grains, tack vanes. I built the arrows myself, 100 grains up front. They're screamers, just a target arrow, not something I would hunt with, but perfect for tack. You know, TAC's gonna have some of them long shots. I need to reach out there and get to them. So if you guys see us out there, stop by, say hi. Don't be shy. Be glad to meet some of you guys. I'm looking forward to it. See you in Utah.